Welcome back. I'm Lynda Kinkade. I want to go back to the battleground state of Pennsylvania. Donald Trump is speaking in the city of Reading. Let's listen in.
I watched the game the other day. I said, what the hell happened? They just kicked off and nobody moved. Oh, well, that's up to them. This will be the golden age of America. Tomorrow, it's a beautiful term, isn't it? I was saying before, I was just proofing and reading and studying and all that stuff. And what a beautiful term, the golden age. We're going to be in the golden age. Won't take long. Right? So tomorrow you have to stand up and tell Kamala that you've had enough. You're not going to take it anymore. You're the most incompetent vice president we've ever had. And Joe Biden was the worst president in the history of our country. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. This is a hell of a nice place. Thank you. With your vote, we're going to win Pennsylvania, and we're going to defeat Kamala and those radical left, what they're doing to our country. Crazy Nancy Pelosi. What's about her? She has visa stock, a big position. You know, she started off with nothing. Now she's worth $200 million. How did that happen? So she has visa stock, and she sells her stock. The day before, it was announced that Visa's under major federal investigation. I don't know. I wonder, do you think she had any insider information? I don't know. It's disgrace. Honestly, she's a disgrace. They ought to throw her the hell out of Congress. We are going to make America great again, and it's going to be fast. We're going to do it fast. We'll fast track it. Over the past 4 years...
You've just been listening there to Donald Trump in Reading, Pennsylvania, again painting a dark picture of America, saying that Kamala should be fired. Joe Biden, he described as the worst president in history. I want to welcome in Larry Sabato, who's the Center for Politics Director at the University of Virginia. Joins me now from Charlottesville, Virginia. Good to have you with us, Larry. So we were just looking at those images of Donald Trump flanked by women, with signs saying "Women for Trump." This is the demographic that he is struggling with most, right?
Oh, absolutely. He is behind among women more than any other candidate in the polling era running for president. Now, whether the final vote turns out that way or not, we'll have to see. But right now, if he loses, it will be because women were determined he would not get back in the Oval Office. He's winning with men, but that isn't sufficient to overcome the woman's vote, because women are a majority of the electorate in all 50 states. So a big mistake he made early on, not just with abortion and reproductive rights, but with a whole series of issues. And the things he's saying, Lynda, on the campaign trail. I'm going to protect women whether they like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to ask you, Larry, about this poll we are seeing out from Iowa. Of course, all the polls overall show a neck-and-neck contest, but this latest Iowa poll shows a surge for Harris in a state that Trump won the last two elections. Just how much faith can we put in the polls?
Well, we can put some faith in the better ones, and that Iowa poll is one, and I'm going to tell you about it in just a second, but just as I was sitting here, I saw the last poll, I believe, that's being released nationally, a PBS Marist poll, and that is also a gold standard poll, and it shows Harris beating Trump 51% to 47% in the popular vote. Now, how that translates into the Electoral College, nobody can say, and I certainly can't tell from the numbers that I've seen, but that's a good sign for Harris. Now, the Iowa poll was a shock to the entire political community. Nobody had even thought about Iowa being a competitive state. I sure know I hadn't. And yet, even though Trump carried it twice by 8 percentage points, this shows him behind by 3. Do I really believe Trump is going to lose Iowa? No, I don't. But the reason this is significant is because his former base was composed of states like Iowa, a farm state in the middle of the country. Some people call it flyover country. I don't. It's great territory. And because Trump had done so well there before, the idea that women over 65 and independent women who are not affiliated with either party were moving in large numbers to Kamala Harris is very significant. Tells us something about Wisconsin, tells us something about Michigan, tells us something even about Kansas, which had a similar poll released recently.
And certainly when you listen to Donald Trump, especially over the last few days, it sounds like he's setting the stage to challenge the election results. I just want to play some sound from Donald Trump.
They are fighting so hard to steal this damn thing. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on in your state. Every day, they're talking about extending hours and stuff. Who ever heard of this stuff? We should have one-day voting and paper ballots.
So he spent almost 20 minutes on Sunday talking about how he thinks the election has been stolen. He also said that he should never have left the White House after the last election, despite losing. Does that sort of rhetoric have the potential to scare off moderate Republicans?
Oh, I think it already is. I think it already is. A lot of factors have played into Kamala Harris gaining some last-minute momentum, beginning with Trump's disastrous rally at Madison Square Garden in New York. We know about what happened there. But in terms of some of the other developments, Donald Trump has been using dark, gloomy language, and that's not the language that a candidate who's winning uses at the end. It's kind of a telltale sign of somebody who's very worried about the way things are going. Kamala Harris, very positive campaign in the last week. She didn't even mention Donald Trump's name yesterday in Michigan while she was campaigning. That's a telltale sign of a candidate who thinks she has a good chance to win.
Well, we will discuss all of this and much more after the election results start coming in. Larry Sabato, good to have you with us. Thanks for your analysis.
Thank you, Lynda.